Hi there. I feel really badly I couldn't be there this afternoon with Trish. Actually, I should say today because I'm not sure if the meeting's in the morning or the afternoon, but I couldn't be there today with Trish to talk about the endowed teaching chair proposal that we crafted together. So I wanted to say just a few words about why I'm so excited about this program. And I should start by saying, I've just come off a term as division chair, and the idea of creating these sorts of supports for developmental students or even more importantly students who are on the cusp of developmental who could potentially take uh, college level classes with a little bit of preparation was a topic of ongoing conversation throughout the college, throughout my time as chair. And one of the notes I'd made for myself, I wanted to say later, I'll say it now because I've opened up with this, is that one example of this in a lot of the research we did, there was a group of us asked to look at readiness, college readiness and retention, kind of take an environmental scan of what's being done in remedial slash developmental education across the country, particularly with some of the co-requisite options that are being tested out in some universities, things like that. And one of the things that came up again and again is the fact that there are a large body of students who live kind of on the cusp of the developmental ed cutoff. And if there is any way at all to prepare them, to help them get what they need to step into the 111 college level writing class without stepping back into a developmental class. Of course, that's a wonderful thing. Students tend to be retained better when they're in college level courses. Students who enter the developmental sequence tend to struggle more, and it, not because necessarily they're in the developmental sequence. So I'm sure that may be some what of a factor, the discouragement of taking courses which aren't yet for college credit. But a lot of times it has as much to do with the other complications in their life that are causing them to struggle. At any rate, so that really is what I think I'm so excited about this project because it gives us that opportunity. It also can serve as a resource for students who are in college level courses and not just English courses. There are students who meet the minimum requirements of the Compass test to test into a writing course. There are students who, through the revision process, through peer editing, through working with the RIT Center, are able to craft essays that pass muster so they can pass their composition classes, but who in their comp classes or in their subsequent classes still struggle with certain elements of grammar. And what they struggle with can vary. There may be a student who's strong with grammar but struggles with punctuation, for example. And that can be throughout their college career. So one of the things we're excited about this project is that it would again offer sort of an ongoing opportunity for support for those students as well. Now, in terms of the specific components, because we're proposing sort of three aspects we'd like to investigate for this course that we're hoping to develop. One is the consideration of making it a massively open online course, which is exciting. And these have had mixed reviews in terms of the outcome for people working towards college credit with them. But what makes them so powerful, and they're highly effective for the people who dedicate themselves to them, is that anyone can take them. So a student could self-select for this. There's no registration process. More importantly to me is the fact that this then becomes a resource that anyone could access. It could serve our community, which is fantastic. It would be a thing that people would visit the Delta College website for to come in and bone up. If someone's writing a report, they could duck in and, for example, work through a module on commas, on semicolons, whatever they're struggling with. So that's very neat to me. And it also could, if it becomes one of those sources, I keep thinking about a resource that many of us use in our English classes, Purdue's Online Writing Lab. If it becomes that kind of resource that people are linking into Delta to take advantage of this, it establishes Delta in a broader forum. And I'm not sure that would happen, though Trish and I are brilliant, so I fully anticipate that it could happen. But it would be a very neat thing. In terms of the open entry exit component, This is what we're thinking about. One of the issues with the massively open online courses is that people don't finish them. Well, when you add in this component of being an open entry-exit course, we'd like to try to design the course so students can come in, take what they need, get out again. That completely mitigates whatever concerns there might be with that issue with the MOOCs, because our goal isn't for somebody to necessarily have to complete the entire course. We're hoping to design it in such a way that they're able to come in and take what they need and get out again. And the last component we're investigating, and Trish brought this up, I've been working with gamification for a while, but Trish actually introduced this based on some research she'd seen, or some work she'd seen done in Florida with a MOOC for developmental students that involve gamification. Gamification is turning things into games, and it's a very popular marketing technique right now. And as many of you probably know already, it's becoming increasingly popular in education. And I'm experimenting with it right now for the final project for a lit course I'm teaching on The Hobbit. So it's interesting. It's very exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing what students think of it. They've been rating the quests highly so far, but let's see when the hard work begins of working through the final quest, which have them writing an essay. Gamification could do two things if we decide to use it once we've investigated it. It is designed to enhance retention, student engagement by making the learning fun, by setting tasks and rewards that will motivate the student to keep going. The other thing that can happen if students are intellectually engaged in what they're doing, and if they're allowed the opportunity, for example, to complete a quest repeatedly until they achieve mastery, which is something that you do in games. Your character doesn't die and then you're kicked out of the game forever. Your character dies and you come back to life and go back and fight the monster again. Both of these could potentially make the resource even more powerful, because students who dive into it would be drawn through it by the game aspect, is what we're hoping at least. Which again mitigates that MOOC criticism, that people enter MOOCs but don't finish them. And again, it would be innovative enough that we have the potential of really making ourselves a presence in this. And I've gone on for 7 minutes, so I'm not sure how much time Trish has, so I will wrap it up there. But I'm really excited about this project, and I see it having a very positive impact. I see it reflecting many of the college's stated strategic goals. Anything that gets our presence out there could enhance enrollment. We certainly would be an enhancement or a support for online learning. And in fact, e-learning, the e-learning department has been talking about trying to get a MOOC put together for some time, and it's come up in our in the ELC meetings for some time that we should look at possibly doing this for developmental students. This is an idea that's been floated out there for a long time. Not something that could take the place of our developmental classes, but something that could certainly be an enhancement, and like I said, could potentially take a certain group of students who are on the borderline now, coming out of high school, coming back from the workforce, and help them get into a college level class immediately and support them once they're there. So that is all I have to say. I started winding up 2 minutes ago and I kept going again. So I'm going to stop recording and I will send this to Trish. And I'm certain that she will pitch this all far more brilliantly than I could ever do. But I wanted to make you aware of how excited I'm about this, and what a neat project it is, and how much I'd love to work on it with Trish. And Trish, I will leave it to you.